Coastal Daybreak here on the Talk Station, FM 107, AM 1240. So now you've been wondering, what's wrong with your radio? Nothing. It's working absolutely perfectly fine. The host, well, we can tweak some knobs there, and I'm still going to look as good as I do right now. But that's all right. Lockwood now hosting the program, and we've had several calls. Correct that last. We've had many calls here wondering where's Ben, and not so much the fact that he was out, but there were new promos. Announcements began, I guess, over a week ago.
Just over the weekend.
Over the weekend.
Started Friday.
All right. About the fact that new and improved the summer lineup for the Talk Station. And so the story broke yesterday in the Carter County News-Times, also in the Jacksonville Daily News this morning, that Ben Ball is now running for public office. And, well, Ben, we've got news. Let's talk.
The weirdest thing about not being on Tuesday morning and being here instead was I walked outside and it was a beautiful day and I didn't know the forecast.
So you've been doing it for so long and you're doing one. Okay, I wonder what the weather's going to be.
Because after
you weren't listening.
Well, I had a general idea, but I didn't know the details. Usually, I can recite it for for about 4 or 5 minutes. I can tell you the whole spiel. But that was the weird thing. Also, when we taped Faith Matters, even before I had really decided whether or not I was going to go forward with this, we taped Faith Matters, and I just, given that I might do this, I didn't host it, but I sat back and engineered it, and it was so hard to not say anything.
Say something, yeah.
To not add to it. But here, let's
say why. Let's go back to this. What's the background on why you're no longer behind this end of the station?
Well, if you want to get the big picture, I mean, even back in college, I went to school at William & Mary with the idea that I was going to go to law school, and so I took a lot of those courses that would be leading towards that. Then sometime in junior year, like a lot of college students do, I decided, no, I'm going to make radio a career. Mm-hmm. And so I wrote an interdisciplinary major called Broadcasting and Politics. So I kept all my government and law courses that I was taking, all those things, and then combined them with broadcasting courses to make an interdisciplinary degree. So my interest has been in the law, been in politics for a long time. And then now, after being here, working here for 14 and a half years, hosting Coastal Daybreak, and some folks had mentioned to me in the past that have dealings along these lines. They thought that I would make a good clerk of court. So I toyed with that and prayed about that for a long time, and then started to think about it more seriously as it got down to what would be really the absolute deadline for needing to do this, because I knew that if I did that, I wanted to be an unaffiliated candidate. So I thought about this for a long time and knew that I was going to have to, or got the information that I would have to get a couple thousand signatures to do that. So that's the process now. And it's really about just giving the voters a choice, and I'll respect their decision, whatever that decision is. Mm-hmm. But this is an interesting time because we have to collect signatures, and so a lot of friends have stepped forward to help with that, and so we're doing that now, and that's the whole focus of everything right now, is just to get the signatures before we get to our deadline.
I was intrigued by this story that Jackie Starkey wrote in the News-Times yesterday, that your requirement is a little bit more arduous than if you were running for state office. You've got to come up with 2,000 signatures. The story she writes here, a list of signatures containing 4% of the county voters registered as of January 1 of the election year. For statewide races, that threshold drops to 2%. You should have run for you should have run for a state office.
It's even less if you want to be a write-in candidate.
Yeah.
So
I think it's 200 or thereabouts.
Yeah.
All right. So you've decided you're going to run for public office. Now the question is, how come I'm here and you're there?
Well, that's a different set of laws. Mm-hmm. We have the election law, which you just stated, and then we have the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, requires, and it's a bit of a gray area, but they require that once you are a candidate, then you cannot be on the air without offering equal access. And absent a waiver, then you've got to come off the air. So that's what we've done, and it's the interesting part about that is the official nature of being a candidate the FCC defines it differently than the state does, because I'm not really a candidate until I have the signatures,
right.
and then I pay the filing fee and get on the ballot. So, but the FCC says once you are
acknowledged as or designated
announced
as.
it publicly, then you are.
So that explains, ladies and gentlemen, why we threw Ben to the far reaches of the studio, behind a wall window board, where he is still acting as executive producer and still
doing my best to hold his hand.
Thank you very much. And in the process, still doing a lot of the.
This is a tougher job.
Oh, you just biting your tongue and just saying, I wouldn't say that sort of thing. Okay, yeah, but it's also you're still doing a lot of the administrative work that you were doing anyhow. It's just you're focusing on that, and we're looking at refinements. And by the way, just to make mention of this, obviously I'm associated with the station. Ben and I have been talking for quite some time that this is an opportunity to make some changes and to sort of move things around. So we're doing that. This is not necessarily a permanent situation, but
we were having that chat
long
after
before
Shane died,
right?
And so we knew that we were going to have to do some things to operate a little differently, a little bit more efficiently. And then when I came to you with this, which was just a short time ago, we had to act more quickly.
That was, we won't go into that. That was with about 4 days' notice.
Yes,
literally.
Really.
Yeah. So that's the way it goes. But anyhow, Ben, thanks very much.
Okay.
Congratulations. Best of luck to you. And also, as an explanation, this is what it's about. Ben is still not far away. You're welcome to call and complain to him any day you want.
I'll talk to you personally.
And compliments I'll accept. Okay? Just send the compliments my way, complaints to Ben. You're listening to Coastal Daybreak with Lockwood behind the mic here this morning and for a long time to come. Stay tuned for more.
Hey, it's Big John R. Buy, sell, trade, and give stuff away on Swap Shop, Saturday mornings at 7 on the Talk Station.